Alright, this is a rough video by Heefie86 on Case 3 recoveries in DCS for the supercarrier. Of note, I'm a student pilot in real life, so if anyone has any comments on any real world that I've missed, please put it in the comments below. So here we go, and this is going to be really rough. Starting the Case 3 tutorial, you'll see me changing over the DDs. I like to put the HSI on the right. I'll get rid of the electronic warfare on the HUD on the left, and then I put up the HUD. You see me setting up the TACAN 71 X-ray, turn it on, enter, the ILS 11, and on and enter, and then I turn them both on the DED. You're also going to see me go down here, and sometimes I adjust the lights there, put the hook down, changing the anti-skid and carrier landing. The stores are off, the checklist is on the bottom one, setting bingo. Just trying to get everything set up really quick before we get into this. And then I'm going to contact the boat.
Marshall,
we're inbound.
Marking mops 108.
So I'm going to try to walk you through here what the boat is going to be telling you and what it is, what you're to infer from it. What you really should be doing is
Courage Marshall, Case 3 recovery, CV1 approach, expect final bearing 290, altimeter is 290, 305, Marshall Mothers 119, radio 23, DME Angels 8, expected approach time is 28.
So what the boat told you is we're 305, Courage is the boat, Marshall stack, Case 3 recovery is what are in operations. This is for a CV1 approach, the expected final bearing of 299. That's the expected final. That could change for a radial. That's all depending. The altimeter is 299 or 3. Then the Mother's 119 is the radial, so that is the reciprocal of 299. That's where it could change, so you got to pay attention to that. Otherwise, you got to do a DME arc. 23 DME is distance measuring equipment. That's how far we're going to be when in the Marshall in the hold. Angels 8, 8,000 feet. Expected approach time is 28, so 28 after the hour.
305.
So we plug that into the course line. I set it as 299 because the reciprocal of 119 is an exact reciprocal, so we don't have to worry about any DME arcs. If you did, you'd want to set the DME arc and just note that the arrow towards the TACAN would be pointing away from the boat while you fly that arc, and then you'd have to change it later on, and we'll get a little bit more into that later on. So 299 is the boat heading, and we are flying to intercept the 119 radial. You always want to run it off radials. Radials run from the bearing, and bearings are either from you or from a fixed point. We are also flying down to Angels 8. While we were doing this, you'll notice I set up the course line for 299 for the intercept, and just note for the DME in the bottom right of the HUD, we need to intercept that at 23 at minimum. So we're setting up here. I'm also setting up the autopilot, getting it ready. So I set up an autopilot heading of 299 by just holding the switch and then plugging that in and watching that and the HUD coming in. I brought down the HSI on the right screen to 20 miles or even 10. You can do, so it gets a little bit more fine adjustment. You can see where to make the turn. You can see her turn is going to be made, and we're going to intercept this just right. And that's kind of what I'm trying to show there, is that's where you want it to be, and showing the line you want to be on. Also, don't forget in the HSI you have to select TACAN and ILS and box them. The OSBs, would it be 19 and 20, I believe. And now we're on a 299 heading. So we'll contact the boat and tell them we're established. 8,000 feet, 299 heading. We're in the parameters that they need us to be. Of note, what I'm circling there was the boat's
30
location and
Established Angels
incoming
in
traffic.
state
Always pay
8.7.
attention to the incoming traffic that you can see.
305, Roger, state 87.
So what I circled there was the ground speed. That's what we're looking to achieve here is 300 for the ground speed perfectly, and that'll make all these distance measurings a lot more easy. So what we're going to be looking for is every 5 miles is 1 minute, and each turn of 180 degrees is a minute and a half. So with that, we can do the math really quick, but we have to do the math on the fly here. So if you're looking, the easiest way to put this is if you're looking for an even number, if you have an even number to your, so we know we gotta go 28 after the hour, you know that the turn is going to be a minute and a half plus another turn that you're going to need is 3 minutes, so you're already at odds. So you need 2 of those, or double both those turns to get it back to even, and then it's just the math in between. And that's if you intercept the boat from the back. If you intercept the boat from the front and the Marshall stack from the front, then you're going to be looking at completely different math. So this is just from the back of the boat, and that's just the simple math to put it. So what we're going to be doing here is going to be 1 turn 10 miles out, 1 turn 10 miles back, 1 turn 5 miles out, 1 turn 5 miles back. That's going to be our 12 minutes that we're going to require for our 28 after for what we measured here. Coming up here, I'm going to be showing kind of how a DME arc works. So once we come out of this at the turn, we're just going to be going straight in. But there'll be a DME arc possibility depending on the radial that they give you. And again, that's not the course that they give you that the boat's going. That's going to be the radial of the Marshall stack that they give you. So that could always be different. I'm not sure if that's going to be implemented yet or not, but that's something to pay attention to here. So this is a approach chart I pulled off of Google real quick. This is for a helicopter for a carrier, but we'll make do with this. You can see on the right there the Marshall stack. In our case, we set 299 as the carrier heading and 119 as the hold. You can see this one has an offset hold. For this case, the carrier heading would be something like 300, and the offset hold you can see there is 110. So they would give you the radial of 290 to fly, in which case you would have to take the reciprocal of 110, or you can just plug in 290 into your TACAN, but you just have to realize it's going to point away from the boat if you do that. So you fly that for your X amount of time, and then when you get to your actual assigned time, you would change it to the boat heading. Then you would fly the DME arc. In this case, you would see it's a 3 DME arc. In our case, in a plane, it would be a lot more than that. 10, 12, the 23 that they assigned. It all depends on what they tell you. So you're going to fly that arc, and what you do in this case, if it's 3, if you see 4, you just move inbound a little bit. If it's 2, you just fly out a little bit, and you just keep that 3 DME arc until you get your new assigned to the BRC heading, and then you would turn inbound for that. At the bottom of the chart there, you see a common descent chart there. Not too much to worry about here. It's just going to give you at what range you need to be above 900 feet, at or above 900 feet, at 500 feet exactly. So that's how that works. Alright, now that we're in our Marshall stack here, things I'm constantly looking out for here is the DME and the time, and figuring out if we are looking right. Again, if you keep a 300 ground speed, which you'll see on the right side of the middle symbology on your right MFD, I believe I was calling DEDs before, you'll see your ground speed. If you just keep 300 on that, 5 miles is 1 minute. Each turn is a minute and a half, so you can kind of do the math pretty simply that way. Other things I'm looking for, I'm keeping my altitude the same, airspeed, as we said, we're going with the ground speed. Also traffic alerts, where we are with reference to the boats, and anything else that needs to be taken care of, hook, and final parts of the checklist, restraint harness. So we're just going through all that right now as we make our final turn in, and there's that check. We're going to set barometric altitude, turn down the HUD a little bit so we can get the long distance light on the boat, and we're inbound. So at this point you would call the tower and tell them that you're inbound. This is where you fly the DME arc if need be. You're descending down now to 1,000 feet at 250 knots is your max. You're going to go at 5,000 feet and call platform to the tower, and then you just keep the 1,000 altitude towards the boat at 250.
30 knots, fly bullseye. 305.
So you just heard there was the bullseye call. That's for 10 miles out. And what you're seeing here at the final, I'm paying attention to my altitude, make sure I'm at 1,000 feet. My speed, 250 knots or less. And my carrier alignment, you'll see the carrier just off to the left with yellow. You want to just keep it to the right and you'll be fine. And my DME, which was 5. So I'm going to be waiting here. It was higher than 5. At 8, I'm going to start lowering the flaps. What I tend to do is a half notch of flaps at 8. I believe the procedures call for full flaps in gear at 8. I find that to be a little too slow on the approach. So I'll pull in half flaps at 8, and then about 7.5 to 7, I'll put in full gear and full flaps. And you'll see when you put in flaps, it tends to pitch up a bit violently. That's just typical what planes do. So you're gonna have to just keep that nose forward and keep that 1,000 feet. What your game plan here is to capture alignment. So now you get that E-brake on the left. That's when gear comes down. You want to set that for a glide slope. That's your angle of attack. For right now, it's not going to be as important. So we're just going to try to keep that 1,000 feet. I was busy circling that there, so I kind of lost altitude and track of everything. So let's just reset that there. Get back up to 1,000 here and reset everything. So we're set with the E-bracket a bit high, and that's okay for right now. We're just going a little bit faster than normal. The traffic in front of us isn't an issue at this moment, so we're okay. That horizontal line, that's what we're looking to intercept. That's our glide slope. And the vertical line is our localizer. So that's what we're trying to stay on. That's what that yellow light on the carrier is. If it turns green, we're too far to the right, and we know we gotta go left. And if it goes red, like it just did, we know we gotta go right a bit. And you just want to keep that light kind of centered in the bottom left of the localizer and glide slope there, and it tends to work out pretty well. So we're just waiting until we get to the point where we intercept the glide slope, which is about right coming up here, and then we bring the E bracket down, which is reduce the throttle, and then That'll come right down, and we intercept that glide slope, and then we're going to bring that glide slope down. Now that we got the ball, we're going to see we're a little low, so we're going to wait a little bit, and then we're going to start descending here. And we're just going to ride that path down now with the E-bracket or throttle. We see the red light. We're a little to the left, so we're going to correct that, and we're a little low, so we're going to correct that as well. And we're just going to ride that down. Red light again. We're a little to the left, so we're just going to hang that to the right a little bit. Just fine adjustments. Anything too much, and you're just going to wind up S-tailing yourself the entire way in. So just little adjustments here. And we're just going to slowly keep that cross in the center of our flight path marker. Get that E-bracket back in. We see we're a little left again. And that's going to happen because the boat's constantly moving to the right. So that's going to be your typical one that happens. So we're just going to recapture that. Take a look at the ball. We're still right back down.
On glide path. On course. 3/4 of a mile. Call the ball.
Okay.
30.
Called the ball.
Hornet ball. 6.7. Roger ball. 23 knots down the
Right a bit.
Fly the ball.
A little high. And capture. Full throttle, nothing, release. Let the plane come back. Release the hook. Fold the wings. Set high nose wheel steering. And taxi off. And I really hope that answers any questions about the Case 3. And in fact, that actually works for Case 2 as well. And actually for a lot of normal piloting things if you're looking to get any licensing. Thanks for checking this out, and have a nice day.